Putin in the middle of the crisis. Russian troops stuck in Ukrainian defense. Hello, the Pioneer viewers. As you know, our agenda is the Russia-Ukraine war. While the war continues on the front, the developments in the background also affect the direction of the war. The biggest war Europe has seen since the Second World War has taken place between Russia and Ukraine. As the second year of the war approaches, the sides continue their mutual attacks. The long duration of the war has increased in the burden on states. War processes bring serious economic and psychological problems. For this reason, state administrators should produce strong and planned policies. If you cannot produce strong and planned policies, you cannot provide the resources and production to continue the war. Ukraine's efforts in this regard show that they have planned organization. Russia, on the other hand, is experiencing the difficulties of its invasion attempt, which is initially characterized as a special military operation. The international community is closely following the developments. Russia's invasion attempt against Ukraine turned the world's attention to the region. As the war continued, various international initiatives worked to resolve the conflict. Russia struggled with various crises following the invasion attempt. It was subjected to the major sanctions due to the intervention against international law. The embargo was also devastating for the Russian economy. After all this, the living standards of the Russian people dropped considerably. The Russian people are paying the price for Moscow's war, and they are complaining about it. Another crisis that erupted recently is Russia's heating and electricity cuts. The Putin administration is racing against time against a very serious crisis. In addition, a video recently released by the Ukrainian army shows the incredible operation carried out by the Ukrainian defense. Now, if you are ready, let's analyze the latest developments together. As the Pioneer, we continue to report on Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. I also read all your comments on our videos. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments. Tell us in the comments what content you would like to see on the Pioneer channel. Let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. A video shared by the Ukrainian army recently reached thousands of people in a short time. In the video shared by the Ukrainian army, there were images of the Ukrainian military operations that stopped the advance of the Russian troops. As can be understood from the video, it is observed that the Ukrainian army has made a solid preparation. Since the first days of the war, the Ukrainian army has shown the world how important coordination and communication are in war. The source of the Ukrainian army's gains against the Russian occupation is actually based on this coordination skills. The Ukrainian army has a strong and fast communicating network between its units. Thanks to this network, the Ukrainian army is able to organize its operations in a sudden and shocking manner. It is possible to observe this in a video shared by the Ukrainian army. The operation carried out by the 40th Mechanized Infantry Brigade of the Ukrainian Army contains interesting details. As the infantry advances on the train, unmanned aerial vehicles of the Ukrainian Army also provide images from the field. Thanks to these images that facilitates the infantry's advance, the positions of the Russian soldiers is pinpointed. Thanks to the Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles that view the area from above, Ukrainian infantry can destroy their enemies before they come face to face with them. Identifying the targets in the region, the drones detected the markets to the coordinations, and then fire at the Ukrainian artillery. Thanks to the Ukrainian artillery's successful shelling, Russian positions are destroyed. In addition, sensitive targets in the region are destroyed without deviation thanks to the kamikaze drones. The Ukrainian army has revolutionized this history of the warfare by using drones. One of the most important resources in war is people. Recruiting people to fight on the front line is a challenging process, but using unmanned weapons and the equipment has changed the way of the war. Unmanned aerial vehicles will make great contributions in the conflicts that are likely to take place in the coming periods. Another important detail of the Ukrainian operation involves the intelligence power. Ukrainian intelligence plays an important role in the operation. Ukrainian intelligence, which has a significant amount of information flow from the Russian army, shares the information it obtains from the army. The Ukrainian army also organizes its operations plans accordingly. This situation, which is seen as a reflection of Russia's aggressive policy, is of great importance for the Ukrainian securities. The information obtained by the Ukrainian intelligence showed the time and the route of the Russian troops in the region. Upon receiving this information, Ukrainian intelligence sent an urgent message to the Ukrainian army. After receiving the message, the Ukrainian army notified the troops in the region and made the necessary preparations. As a result, the shared images emerged. While the developments on the front line continued to unfold, another important development broke out in Russia. Vladimir Putin, president of the Russian Federation, is facing a major crisis. The people of Russia are showing great reactions to the current situation. The Kremlin is very worried about the growing opposition against Putin before the upcoming elections. Putin, who is seeking another term in the March elections, is facing a backlash against the power outage that have plagued Russia in recent months, causing a life-threatening lack of heating. Political expert Jason J. Smart said Putin continues to push Russia to the breaking point. It is facing a serious crisis because of the heating catastrophe. According to information obtained from local sources, there are reports that dozens of Russian civilians have frozen to death. The biggest cause of the basic problems and the lack of infrastructure is known to be ongoing war in Ukraine. The Kremlin has been forcing regional governors in Russia to cut infrastructure since early 2022 to help finance the war in Ukraine. As a result of this coercion, the lack of infrastructure works is causing the Russian population to freeze. The cuts have left around 25% of Moscow residents out in the bitter winter cold since earlier this month, with a 60-year-old Russian Navy officer reported to have frozen to death in his home near the St. Petersburg. The authorities did not make a clear statement after the news, which hit the agenda in Russia with a great impact. Russia prioritized military spending over general public spending and investments. This situation proves that the war economy is clearly implemented. Russia's problems with the war economy don't end there. Many people working as heating engineers and plumbers in business life were also recruited by the Russian army. For this reason, it is very difficult to find a technical worker in the market. While economic problems continue to disturb the Russian people, the situation is expected to worsen in the coming days. So, what do you think about the crisis Putin is facing? Do you think Putin and the Kremlin leadership are capable of solving the problems? What do you think about the operations of the Ukrainian army? Do you think the Ukrainian army has made a significant revolution in the history of warfare? We care about your opinion. Please share it with us.